the ego doesn't want them to do it because the ego doesn't want you to change. But when you think it, when you write it, when you feel it, you can create it, you know? Hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things life, love, spirituality, love, attraction, all of that juicy goodness. I am an intuitive reader, a manifesting coach, a Reiki practitioner, and a life path guide and mentor here to help you along your awakening journey so that you can co-create the life of your dreams. And in this video, I'm going to give you specific instructions on how to journal and maybe offer some suggestions on what to journal. A lot of people resist journaling on their journey because it feels like work and it feels like it's difficult and it feels like another thing that they have to add to their to-do list, especially when you have busy lives. But I like to coach my clients into, holding off on saying, I have a busy life. That's the mind creating a story that your life is busy. So you're going to believe it and you're going to create a little bit more chaos because you have that belief system. So what journaling does, it actually slows you down. And it makes you get into the present moment, and you are now just writing what's on your mind. Even if it's as simple as I need to get toilet paper at the grocery store, you're just doing like this purge of your thoughts. So my first suggestion is to buy yourself a beautiful journal that feels good for you. I was gifted this journal by one of my clients who came to play the all game, which I'm training to become an all game guide. I'll explain that in another video. But it's a healing group for women via a board game. And it's like Jumanji. It's like a universe board game based on synchronicity. So I'm training to become a guide. So she came here for my training and she bought me this beautiful journal and these beautiful pens. Aren't they so cute? I have them in this cute little sack. So that's step one, is get something that lights you up every time you look at it. Like these pens, I love the actual tip on the pen. It writes so well. It's so smooth. So when I have these little things that bring me joy, it makes the experience a little bit more enjoyable. So light a candle, have essential oils filling the room with beautiful scents, maybe dim the lights, put some soft music on, make it an experience. And if you're somebody that doesn't like to do that, maybe try it and see how you feel. And then if you still don't feel good, then you can just do this in passing. You can literally just grab a piece of paper as you're walking through your kitchen and just do a quick 5-minute pause and be like, all right, what am I thinking about right now? Because whatever we're thinking about, we're creating. So we want to catch our thoughts in the moment to make sure that we're not creating something that's fearful, negative, worrisome. The mind likes to play in the future and it likes to play in the past. It never wants to be in the present moment. It's a little too boring for the mind. And that's why most people resist journaling, is because they're listening to their ego that is resisting it. The ego doesn't want you to settle down and to write all the thoughts down, because then the ego will eventually have to move away, because your soul is going to take over and see that the ego's thoughts are crazy and silly and worrisome. So eventually it's death to the ego to journal. So that's what we want. We want to kind of take our ego and just put it on a shelf and be like, we're going to let our soul drive the car. You can be here to protect us, but we don't want to kill you. We love you. You kept us alive our whole life, but we don't want you running the show. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get a beautiful journal, lovely pen, whatever feels good. And you're going to just release. Right now, you could say something like, just got home, feeling a little rushed, had a difficult conversation. And this is not my truth. I'm just making this up. Had a difficult conversation with mom. Why did that trigger me? And so what happens is, even if you don't get answers to these questions or these statements, you're just getting it out on paper. And now when you go do the dishes or when you go to shower, you're going to replay what you just journaled. You're going to become more aware of the scenario that you wrote about. And the more awareness we have, the more clarity we have. And the more we can change and say, oh, that's why this happened. Or I see why I was triggered, because maybe they don't understand me and I'm really looking, I have a pattern in me that's really looking to be understood because nobody understood me as a kid. Now I can release that pattern and no longer feel this pressure for people when I talk to them to understand me. I can just be whole and be happy, and I'm on the phone with them and I won't be triggered anymore. So the journaling kind of magnifies what's happening in your day-to-day life. And when we write it on paper, it's like we think it, we write it, we feel it, and we can release it. Okay, we think it, we write it, we feel it, we can release it. So that is the main goal of tracking triggers, of tracking certain moments in your life, because you're becoming more aware of your patterns and why you're doing what you're doing and why you're attracting what you're attracting. Now, that's one way to journal. The second way to journal, I'm just going to draw a little dividing line, is to track your highlights. Highlights from the day. And I always draw little hearts on mine. I dot all my I's with hearts. My daughter passed away in 2012 and she sends me hearts wherever I go. So I'll do highlights. First highlight, talked with a neighbor at the pool today. Another highlight might have been got a good workout in, great comments on YouTube. And, I would be more specific. I would say who said the thing. I would say my neighbor's name, but for the sake of the video, I'm not going to go into all the details, but you're just looking back at the last 12 hours and being like, what good things happened? Now, what that does is that conditions your mind to look for good. Because what does the mind do? The mind stays in the future and it stays in the past, and it doesn't want to be in the present moment. But when we teach it to reflect on the good from the past, then it can project good into the future. So what a highlight list does is it helps you become present in the moment. It helps you reflect on the past in a positive way, so that in the future you can say, oh, I remember I was surprised and I saw that neighbor at the pool and I wasn't expecting them, and that was like extra magic for my day. Or I wasn't planning on going to the gym so early this morning, and I'm so proud of myself that I got up and just felt the urge to go. When you feel the urge, I'll just go. You have to trust yourself. So now your mind can say, or you can tell your mind to think this thought that, oh, tomorrow, I wonder what's going to happen next. Today was magical. Maybe tomorrow will be magical. And you start to live in this whole new bubble of great expectations, of mystery, of magic, of, ooh, what's going to happen next? And that's my goal in this video, is to train you, if you're open to it, to train you to expect magic. And the only way we can expect it is if we are already noticing it in our daily life right now, because we have to believe in something to receive it. So if you believe that magic is possible, then you'll start receiving more of it. And what's a way to believe it? To actually track it and see it happening, write it down, and be like, wow, I am getting so many angel numbers. I am having unexpected conversations and getting unexpected gifts at my doorstep. Those are some things that I would write down on my highlight list. It's any compliment, any gift, any unexpected experience that felt really good. You're just seeing all that good throughout your day, and then you're putting it on a small little list at night or at any time during the day, and then you're seeing, wow, today was unexpected. And I've been thinking my life is meh, and it's not. There's actually so much magic to be seen, but people don't sit and actually appreciate it. One of my clients got a compliment on her YouTube channel, and the woman said that, like, wow, I really love your videos. I love your content. I'm kind of bummed that I haven't done something like that yet. I think she said something like that. I think I might have got those words wrong, but she was admiring my client for her strength to just take action and do something. And my client received the compliment, but she didn't really think about it as like, wow, this woman really values me. She's really wishing she could be like me. And that's inspiring. That's why we're here. We're light bringers. We're meant to bring light to others, to show them the way. And that would be a highlight for my client. And the more she stays in that gratitude for, wow, I'm grateful the universe brought me this woman admiring me and my content, because now I can step fully into myself and my sovereignty and say, I have content that adds value. And now you go throughout your life speaking positively about your own work, and you become your own best saleswoman, salesperson, selling your own product, which is you and your content. So lists and journaling can really, really change your life in so many different ways. And most people don't do it because their mind, the ego, doesn't want them to do it, because the ego doesn't want you to change. But when you think it, when you write it, when you feel it, you can create it. So with past things, you can release the past, but with manifestations, you can think it, write it, feel it, and create it. So that's moving into our next piece, is, you write down all the negativity, you do like a little bit of a brain dump in the beginning, and then you write your highlights. And you can do this whenever you want. It doesn't have to be a system, right? And the next thing you're going to do is, what am I co-creating for myself? And I always put co-creation, a little line underneath it. And then I'll say, for me, is reaching more people on YouTube, attracting positive, loving, I'm not going to continue to writing, but attracting positive, loving, respectful, encouraging YouTube subscribers. I want to be very specific about who I want to call in to my tribe, right? I also want to attract really amazing clients that are booking sessions with me. They respect my time, they're on time, they pay on time. They know that they are abundant and can afford it. They don't have a poor money story. And if they do, they're willing to work with me to work on that. Really getting clear on what are you co-creating. So that's something you can journal as well. It could be $5,000 that you're co-creating. It could be a new car. It could be better relationships with your siblings. It could be more money to shop with. It could be moving, right? So you're just making this quick bullet list of what you want to co-create, and you want to be specific and be detailed on, if it's people you want to manifest, what kind of people. Name their characteristics, name how they make you feel. So one session of journaling with me would look like that. We'd write down what's on your mind right now. What are your worries? What are your triggers? Then we'll go to the highlights. Now we'll go to the co-creation. And then we can look back and see, okay, am I letting the triggers stop me from co-creating? Because if I didn't write that co-creation list, would I have been co-creating those things today? If you didn't sit down to journal, would those things have been on your mind? And if they would be, that's great. But now let's amplify it, because if you really want it, you have to do the vibrational work of thinking it, writing it, feeling it, and then creating it. Okay. And 90% of the time, spiritual growth is letting go. We are releasing the costumes, the patterns of who we used to be. So when we write down our triggers, that's the costume that you're unzipping and taking off. The people pleasing, the procrastination, the lying, the cheating, the hiding who we are to please somebody else, right? Us changing how we speak. As soon as we get in front of somebody, we're not fully authentic and being ourselves. When you write down what's triggering you, you can see your pattern. And if you can't see it, then you should work with somebody like me, where we would go over your journal and we would say, okay, what were your triggers this week? All right. And then I would be able to see, because I've worked with so many clients, I would be able to see the pattern just in your words. You would repeat the journal back to me and I'd be like, oh, I've seen this before. I know what that is. And I would help you see more of you, so that in the moment, the next time that trigger happens, you won't have to be triggered. And you can understand why you attracted that trigger for your healing. And then we can release it. And that's truly what manifestation is opening up space in your nervous system to hold more. Because if you're filled with triggers, if your first list of your journal with all your triggers is longer than your co-creation list and your highlight list, we have some problems. But we all have to start somewhere, right? It's okay when you're just starting out for that list to be longer, because you're just learning about your triggers. You're just learning about, all of the stress in your life. And this is part of co-creation. We have to be in the chaos and in the contrast to co-create our way out of it. So we have to kind of experience the ick part of life to be like, okay, now I see why I attracted this. It's because of a pattern from childhood. And now I want to rip the root out and make space to then hop from this life over to this life, where all I do is receive love and synchronicity and flow and ease. And I can make decisions and I can follow my fear with ease, because I have the right tools and I have the right mentors and coaches and the support system of other people on this journey working with me to help me achieve my goals. And that is why journaling is fantastic, because sometimes you can't see what's blocking you, what is keeping and holding space in your body, which is essentially blocking the manifestations and your ability to hop from one life to another, because you just don't feel worthy, or it feels too big, or you think as soon as something good happens, somebody's going to pull the rug out from under you. It is so beautiful to be on a client call with somebody and to see them have a breakthrough live on the call. They're like, oh my gosh, now I understand why I've been doing that for the past 30 years. or 20 years or however long. It is beautiful. And I've had so many of those in the last 7 years, these breakthrough moments, or these moments where I have to go speak my truth to somebody, or I have to stand up to a family member, or I have to apologize to somebody. These are the moments of release. We're doing something different that's co-creating the new life. And we have to track it. We have to journal it so we know what we're doing. So we're conscious of it. If you don't write down your triggers, or if you don't write down your co-creation, you're going to be walking through life just dodging triggers all day long and never creating the highlights or the co-creation or the manifestation list. Your mind is going to be consumed with what's wrong in your day and not what you want to create more of. Okay, so if you need help doing this, I would love to work with you one-on-one. Everything is in the comments and in the description below. Thank you so much for supporting me and my channel. I also have an online community and I have a group coaching program. Everything is on my website. Scroll around, see what your heart beats fast for, and then take action and book it. Okay, this is your time. You're here for a reason watching this. And it's because your soul is saying, hey, we want to go to the next level. We want to leave this life and we want to jump over here, but we just need more tools. We need more support. We need more love. We need to practice receiving love from Michelle and her tribe. And then all of a sudden you get this support system and you're like, I've never felt this before. And that's how your manifestations come in, because your vibration rises around us. You start to release, you start to journal, and you feel like you have this accountability group where they're not harsh and like being like, are you doing this? They're just nudging you, saying, hey, we should try this, or hey, we could do this together. And having that and just knowing that people are there with you while you're doing this is really important. So click those links if that really felt good for you. And I look forward to seeing you and meeting you. So thank you again for being here. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. I will see you in the next one. Have a wonderful day. All right, peace out.